Hello, everyone, and welcome to my vlog. I wanted to talk about self-esteem for a second because I'm getting a number of personal emails and tweets from a lot of people that are following this, my journey, to express myself and to share my inner peace with you. Um, no one tells the trans community that we are beautiful. And if no one has looked you in the eye and told you that you are amazing, beautiful, and worthy to be here, then I want to be that person. Growing up for me, and always having been different, I never thought that I was not beautiful. I had times in my life where, of course, I doubted things. I wanted to do things differently. I wanted to look differently. But I always was grounded by a family that always would say, "Hey, what is the matter with you? You're gorgeous and you're perfect just the way you are." But no one says that to the transgender community at all. And so our suicide rates are just astronomical. And it hurts my heart to hear how many young trans women are out here and are just killing themselves left and right because they're so hurt by the way society not only portrays us, not only the way the media portrays us, but also just the ignorance of the average person about our condition and about who we are, and just a lack of knowledge. And ignorance doesn't mean stupid. That's something totally different. It's just a lack of knowledge, and it doesn't mean that everyone that comes up to you and asks you questions and talks to you hates you or has anything against what you're doing or who you are. They just don't know. But by you shining your light, you're making a difference. You're showing something powerful to the entire world. But we have to talk about self-esteem. You need to develop your sense of self-esteem so that no matter what is going on around you, you never internalize it. Someone else's mess is their mess. There's nothing you can do about it. Someone snickers at you out in public. Why are you paying attention to them snickering to you about you? I've sat at a table with a whole table of trans women before, and the whole time, the only thing they could talk about was, "Oh my goodness, I think I'm getting spooked. Am I passable? What is going on with this, that, and the other?" When you preoccupy your mind with that all the time, it's harmful because then you can't live your life. I don't know how many people that I know that self medicate by using drugs and alcohol just to be able to get up and walk to the store. And I'm going to try not to get overly emotional about it, but it's sad and it's real and it's not our fault. You are who you are because you were born that way. You didn't choose to be it. But what I want you to do is not only to try to feel better about yourself, learn your history. I was talking about this on the Mark Steiner show. Learn your history. Understand your relevance to the world, no matter what someone tells you. I did not let being transgendered stop me from pursuing my goals, and I never would. And when people told me, "Oh my God, you better not tell anyone about this. You're passable, you have a lovely voice, you play the violin," that's all they need to know. You don't need to say anything about it. But then I said, well, if I don't say anything about it, who's going to say something about it? Further, by not saying anything about it and having a public career, that makes it seem like I'm ashamed of myself. And I'm far from ashamed of myself, okay? Because you put me in a room next to anybody else, I can measure up just as well. I can speak just as articulately. I can, flip my hair just like the rest of the girls. I can do whatever needs to be done. And so can you. But you have to build that tough skin when you're out in society and not be so apologetic for being you. Why are you apologizing to someone else? because you don't know what they're doing. I think it's so hilarious because every time on these talk shows and these radio shows, what kills me is you have some caller that comes in and they're like, oh, well, I just don't understand this and blah, 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 blah. Well, why don't you let me educate you so that you can understand? And if you have an open mind to it, it's not that really that hard to figure out, but you have to have empathy and you have to want to know. But I'm not going to let you put me down. What you cannot do is take away my accomplishments. The fact that I'm an entrepreneur, the fact that I am educated, the fact that, I am beautiful from the inside and out. And what I lack on the outside, I make up on the inside. Because physical beauty does not last forever. So, but that all comes because I was grounded and I have a great self esteem about myself. I'm not conceited. I'm definitely not the most pretty trans woman in the world, or woman in general. I think I look okay. When I look in the mirror, I like what I see, and that's all that matters to me. I'm not Isis King. I'm not trying to be America's Next Top Model. I'm overweight, to do something like that. I am a musician. I know my place. I know what I'm good at and I stick to it. You ask anybody, if it's something that I don't know something about, I will let you know. I'm very ignorant on that subject and I just can't help you. Maybe I can go into my cell phone and find someone that you can talk to. But your self esteem as a trans person, both male or female, is very, very important because you're going to get attacked from time to time from people who try it. I remember my brother was dating a girl one time and she was jealous because we would go out to these bars and clubs and usually most of the men would come over and try to talk to me. I think what attracted them to me wasn't the fact that I was more beautiful than the rest of the women, was just that I was not trying to be bothered because I'm here, I'm out of my element, I'm trying to fill out the room. I don't have time to worry about some thug that's on the side that's holding his Johnson and trying to talk to me with this yo baby stuff because I don't get down with that at all. Not using. Been there and done that when I was like 18, 21 years old. No. I need a real man, a professional man, someone who is comfortable in their skin and who's trying to do something positive in life. Period. But at any rate, that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that later. Um, but she says to me, she says, well, it surprises me, how many guys talk to you. Well, they probably wouldn't talk to you if you weren't wearing makeup. Seriously? So I was putting on my eyeliner and my mascara, and I was in the mirror, and I looked at that bare-faced heifer, and I said, "Excuse me?" And she said, "Well, I'm just saying. I mean, blah 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 blah." I said, "First and foremost, I love beating this face in. And I don't have to beat this face in order to get a man. Before I transitioned, darling, I did not wear a stick of makeup, and it was men follow me everywhere, and I was not using, and I was very much a nerd in my books and all that kind of current on. I said, but what makes you think that you don't need to paint that face? Because you got all these freckles going on, and you got pigmentation issues, hyperpigmentation issues like I do. I was like, to be honest with you, you need to beat your face in. Then maybe some guy would want to talk to you instead of walking around here with some raggedy tracks and looking a hot mess. Do you know? That was the first time I ever had to go off on her. But do you know, from that day forward, that woman respected me and she went down. She asked me to go with her. We went to the makeup counter and she was having issues finding a job. And what they never told her was her presence was just not presentable. She just did not know how to present herself besides being ghetto fabulous and looking barefaced and just kind of like she just woke up and was trying to go in for an interview. And so when she stopped applying the makeup, do you know they threatened her job? So get into it. So my point is, certain things that you have to do to feel good about yourself is because you want to do them. It's not because we're trying to attract some man or some woman for trans lesbians. It's because I feel good. You know, when I comb my hair or do something a certain way, it's because I want to do it. Because when my mom didn't wear makeup, I used to be like, "Mom, what's are you not feeling well today?" There are men out there that don't like women that wear makeup. I'm not for you because I love to wear my makeup. Okay, and if you see me, my face is beat in. You know what I mean? Same thing with weight issues. I was not born with all these curves, and I love them. So when I had a makeup artist try to come for me and say, what's the point of being transgender if you're not a size 6? What? I let him have it for the Greek gods and Roman affiliates. First and foremost, darling, you wish you were me because you're an effeminate butch queen and you're trying it. Now, I don't need to be a size 6 in order to be a woman. What the hell is that? That's you trying it because you're insecure about yourself. You know that I'm doing well for myself, and he wanted to try it. Since then, of course, he's apologized and we've totally made up, and that was way in the past. I'm talking about like maybe 10 years ago. But people will try you. But how hurtful was that to hear from someone that I thought was my friend? And then he tells me why he did it. It was over something just really, really silly. It was a miscommunication where he thought that I was trying to come for one of his other trans sisters and all this BS. Again, I'm probably the least shady person you will ever meet. I just don't have that kind of time. That's why I don't really be around a whole bunch of people anymore, because they like to keep a lot of drama and chaos. But like I said, to when I fit into my size 12, and I'm pumping around, it's because that's the way I want to look. If I want to lose weight, then I will lose weight. I've done it before. But I'm not trying to be less than a size 10 because I like having some junk in my trunk, and so do the men in my life. Okay, I'm from the South. I'm not trying to impress nobody else. But that's because I have a good sense of myself and a good sense of self-esteem. It's not about being conceited. Being conceited would be to say that I'm the most beautiful thing, the most passable thing, the most lovely thing in the world. When I go into a place, every man is on me and all that kind of foolishness. First of all, I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. What I care about is making sure that my community knows that we're relevant, we're important to society. We're gorgeous, amazing, handsome, debonair men and women of whatever your race is. That's what I care about, because I did not have that growing up. I did not have anyone to look at that looked like me. I didn't have anyone that I could say, this is how I can present myself. These are the clothes that I can wear in the office. I had to learn all this stuff on my own. So ladies and gentlemen, love yourself. Know that I love you. Know that you were meant to be here. Know that God loves you, and don't let anyone tell you anything different. You can do all that you want to do in this life. I performed for the President of the United States. I performed at the Department of Veteran Affairs. I performed for the Out Music Awards as the first classical performance. I've performed around the world, and every time I performed, I was me. And when people asked me about it, I told them straight up, this is who I am. Period. Okay? So, hopefully you enjoy this, and I want to see more women and men post things talking about how much they love themselves and how they're proud of their transition and where they're going. All right, talk to you later. Bye.